Hi guys, in this video I'm going to talk about section 1 of the GAMSAT. Specifically, I'm going to be talking about the reasoning in humanities and social sciences, okay? Now, first, this is going to be a few things that you have to do if you want to really maximize your chance to do well. Okay, there's a site called Gutenberg.org. I'll put the link underneath the video. Basically, this place has free ebooks, but they're all sort of classics or things that like they think that the community will value from, and no one actually owns the rights to these books. So I'm on the website now. So something like, I don't know, Charles Dickens' Hard Times, or what else? Pride and Prejudice. All these really famous novels. Okay. Now, what you want to do is download. You can download this app on pretty much any device. It's called Project Gutenberg, Gutnberg. It'll be on Android, on your iPhone, on your iPad. I can get it on my Surface, so I think it's pretty much everywhere. And you download books. Now, which books you download are really up to you. I would just sort of walk the line between super hard and not hard. If you want some good ones to start off with, stuff with Robinson Crusoe. It's the one where written about the guy who's on a desert island and he's on his own and he finds footsteps. It's actually fairly easy to read and it's quite a good book. Look up A Cat's Cradle by Kurt Von something. That's quite a good book. Then once you're starting to amp up, I'd really get into Charles Dickens. His books are like notoriously hard to read, but this is the point of this exercise. You want to be able to sit down to a question in the GAMSAT that is predominantly Old English, so like thou, thy, all these weird words that you've never heard of before, and they'll give you information about like words that you're out of context, like things that you wouldn't understand. But the actual flow of reading is very difficult unless you practice it. And for me, I think that was the difference between my first GAMSAT and my second GAMSAT. I actually upped my reasoning in humanities and social science by about 5 or 6 raw points, which is quite a lot in terms of how many answers you're actually getting right. And the key to doing that was, the first time I sort of just did some practice ones, I used Prep Genie, the worst bloody papers ever. Do not use Prep Genie in any situation for science. Their humanities questions, even the humanities questions are sort of, like they're okay, but you feel like you've got an answer right and it's like a 90% sure answer right, and then they'll have a random answer that is sort of inexplainable. Whereas when you do good papers, they'll have like answers that make sense, basically. Not stuff that's made up and just like isn't possible. So definitely stay away from Prep Genie. It's not worth $100 for the 5 papers because they're a piece of shit. So moving forward from that, so for my first GAMSAT, I did lots of practice questions, didn't really do much reading beforehand, and sort of I just tried to improve my thinking. It definitely helped a bit, probably improved my score from like how much is the section out of? Oh man, I don't remember. I remember I was getting probably about 60% like out of the questions right, and up to probably about 70, 75, something like that, which is still pretty good, but you definitely can do much better if you've sort of read that kind of style of question before. Because in this section, there'll be stuff that's very easy. There'll be stuff that you can never prepare for, like what's the emotion of this painting? Something like that. It's almost impossible to be good at that unless you have it. You either have that or you don't. The things you can get good at are like reading Freud's blogs or reading intense philosophical arguments. Charles Darwin. They actually had an excerpt from Charles Darwin's Survival of the Fittest, like the excerpt explaining that in the book and it was in the test, and it was very hard to sort of quantify it all in one go. So yeah, my sort of short, snappy advice for section 1, definitely do some practice, stay away from Prep Genie, and definitely hit up free ebooks on Project Gutenberg on any of your devices. Get reading. Even if it's 10 minutes a night, you're going to get much, much better. Okay? Thanks for watching.